All right, let's move into a house divided. And I think we both have mixed feelings about this subject, but we have decided which sides we are debating for and against.
Yeah.
In NFL news, the Bengals recently made the decision. Jamar Chase is staying. T. Higgins.
What is that, $40.3 million a year?
Is staying. They are combining for just under $70 million between the two of them. I believe that's correct. It's like 40 and 30, right?
I've seen this meme. It was like, this is like what happens when an 8th grader plays Madden franchise mode.
Okay. So wait, which side did you decide to argue for?
No, I just thought it was funny.
You said you were going to.
I've heard, okay, so like, yeah, I hear, I mean, there's been people because they talked about like letting go a lot of defensive players.
The question is, did the Bengals overpay to keep Jamar Chase and T. Higgins? And you are saying no, you like these extensions.
And like you said, I do have mixed feelings about it. It is a lot of money, but I also think like, okay, if Jamar Chase doesn't have his negotiation like period, right? T. Higgins don't go down, right? Their kicker makes a freaking field goal. We're having a different conversation, right? They were in the playoffs last year. It's a different. They would have contended with any team, and they're like everybody's acting like their defense was so great already, while they're letting these defensive pieces go. And at the end of the day, what the Bengals have said is we know who we are, we know how our team operates, and how we're going to win games. It's never going to be on the backs of a defense. When you go up against Kansas City, it's going to come down to the last possession every single time. When you go up against Josh Allen, it's going to come down to the last possession every single time. Like, you're not going to like shut those dudes out with some like crazy defense, right? So let's make sure that we are equipped to go toe-to-toe with those teams. And I mean, not to mention, you're talking about the best, you could argue the best number one wide receiver in the league. And definitely, in my opinion, the with like out of shadow of a doubt, the best number 2 wide receiver in the league.
Jamar Chase, the highest the largest contract for a non-QB player. And again, we both have mixed feelings about this. Yeah. But what I'm going to say is, it's not just the Chiefs you got to get past. Is your goal to win a Super Bowl? Yes, you need to get past the Chiefs to get there, most likely. But if your goal is to win a Super Bowl, you've got one more game to play after that. And we've seen, Roger said it coming in. He said, what wins championships? You hear it all the time. Defense wins championships. Did defense
win a championship this year?
I mean, defense won a championship. I would say yes, actually. The Chiefs didn't score in the first half.
Yeah.
The Chiefs didn't score. They scored in garbage time. So many of those points are garbage time.
Was that like defense or was that momentum?
You had...
and a Chiefs playing both. Like garbage, right?
It's both, but you can't ignore one side. This game is a double side. We got two sides to the ball.
We haven't even got to the draft yet. Are they ignoring that side of the ball? So my rebuttal is, did you not see the contracts that were being given out this year? There's like mediocre guys that are getting paid $56 million, right? So could I do that, or do I take a swing at somebody in the draft that I'll have cheaper for 4 to 5 years?
You've got a lot of money locked up in 2 guys.
In 3 guys, really.
3 guys, because you got Joe Burrow. And
massive contract, too.
It is difficult, I believe, to lure people to your team in free agency when they know that even if I'm successful here, I'm going to be going somewhere else next year. They don't have the money to give me. They don't have the cap space to allocate me. That hurts you long term. I think Jamar Chase is, if you can make an argument for Justin Jefferson, possibly the best wide receiver in the NFL. T. Higgins, I totally agree. One of the best number 2 wide receivers in the NFL.
Don't say one of the best. He's the best. Name a better number 2 wide receiver.
It's tough. I off the top of my head, I don't think I could. So 100%. Do they deserve this money? Yes. But if you're the Bengals it's going to be really tough, I believe, to have success with this much money locked up in 3 guys.
I don't think so, because I think I am going to assume that what they're going to do is they're going to build through the draft, right? And you can get some late tackles in the draft. You can get some. There's some decent DBs this year that you could get. And then my question to you: how many times do you see a defensive guy get out of his rookie contract, switch contracts, and go to a new team and make a huge impact?
Again, off the top of my head, I don't have anyone.
Well, because it doesn't happen that often, right? Like, you're talking about, like, players like to make it this thing where, like, yeah, I'm good enough to go play anywhere, but you're going in, you're implementing, you're going and, like, getting accustomed to a new culture, to a new scheme, to new play style, to I used to do it like this. No, I don't want you to do it like this. Well, I've done it like this my whole career. Well, no, I want you to do it like this because it's more efficient. So now I have this whole learning period, right? And so can they, like, add value? The only way, for me, the only reason you go out there and spend a ton of money on defense is if you're like 1 or 2 pieces of depth and to bolster your defense, right? And I don't like the move to try to trade Trey Hendrickson. I don't think he's going to get a trade. So I think that's kind of like the Bengals being like, yeah, go, bro. Like, you think you're worth all this money? Go show me.
Again, in a vacuum, I think both these contracts are well-deserved, but you got to look at the full picture, and ultimately your goal is to win a Super Bowl. You need a full team, complete teams win a Super Bowl. You don't win maybe the Seahawks defense in 2013, but you need a complete team to win a Super Bowl. The Eagles, to me, the most complete team in the playoffs.
The Chiefs got there with an incomplete team.
But did they win? Who had the more complete team in that game? Who had the more complete team in that game? You had top defense, great offense.
They won before with the same offense. It was not good.
In the playoffs, the Chiefs' offense wasn't good?
No.
I'll push back on that.
They were not. The Chiefs' offense has regressed immensely.
This just in. Last year's Super Bowl winning Chiefs offense with Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce,
and
offensive line.
So
Isaiah Pacheco was pretty good in the playoffs.
I mean, they were pretty good, but when you look at what the Chiefs' offense was when it was Tyreek Hill, all those guys, when they were like, boom, when that offense was cooking.
You don't have to have the best offense, but I'm saying they were a complete team last year.
I wouldn't say a complete team.
This is not the subject. We need to close this debate because this is not the subject that we're trying to debate.
But we are debating it because at the end of the day, you're saying it has to be a complete team, and I don't think that it necessarily does.
We'll see.
We shall see.
We shall.
I'm taking the Bengals again next year in the bracket. So.
Uh-oh. Brian's falling for the hype train again.
No, there's nothing. They don't have any hype train. I just believe in Joe Burrow. That dude's a killer.
He is. We love Joe Burrow.